I've been thinking this week a bit about what it's like to travel. In my life, there's been travel for work and travel for relaxation. Suitcases, backpacks, shampoos in 3.2-ounce containers, driving long distances through remote terrain, interstate views and 2-lane roads, train rides, Greyhound buses. I have a passport, and I've been fortunate to get to travel to different places all over the world, mindful that most people on our planet grow up and live pretty much where their family has always lived, and seldom have the resources or the privilege of leisure to get up and just go somewhere else. Sometimes people have to travel, to be with distant family during a time of family crisis or mourning, to escape disaster, whether we call these natural or human inflicted. The United Nations Refugee Agency estimated that around 117 million people were displaced against their will last year. To give you some context, that's about 1/3 the population of the United States. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Travel is a matter of survival, not leisure. Which reminds us that travel can bring with it unique dangers, right? Challenges. Our homes are comfortable because we know our surroundings. We speak the language. We have people we can turn to for support and consolation and encouragement. There's a sense of belonging there, identity. And when we leave our homes and travel, whether on purpose or because we have to, sometimes we can't read signs, follow the customs, know whom we can turn to for help. And for many who have very little, it can be risky. It can feel very dangerous for yourself and for those traveling with you, maybe your children or your parents, maybe people you're responsible for. I love to travel. I have found it so important and nurturing for my spirit to get away from what is familiar and comfortable, and to see how other people in other places do things in their own way. New food, new art, new games, new friends. I love it. Travel is an important way to remind ourselves that our worlds are not the only worlds, that the human family is big and diverse and gloriously different, and yet we are still the same in so many ways. For me, it has been something that encourages me to humility, a reminder that my world fits within a bigger world, one that I should try to understand and appreciate and care about. Our faith tradition has something to say about what it is like to travel in other lands and how we should engage people from other places who we find in our own community. The Hebrew word for a sojourner, for a traveler, is the word ger. Sometimes the word just means a stranger, someone you don't know, someone who is not kin or part of your tribe. And often we find it with other words that make it clear that these travelers now reside among us for a season or maybe for longer. There's this passage in Leviticus that we're thinking about today that urges us, implores us to have compassion for those traveling among us. When an alien resides with you in your land, you shall not oppress the alien. The alien who resides with you shall be to you as the citizen among you. You shall love the alien as yourself, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Did you catch the progression here? When you encounter someone who is new to you, who is from a different place, a different language, a different culture, a different faith, a different perspective, a different ethos, when a sojourning person dwells among you, do not oppress them. Treat them like a fellow citizen, someone who is just like you. No, that's not enough. Love them as yourself. Why? Why would we do that? Well, 2 reasons, the text says. Because you once were in the same spot, foreigners in a foreign land. And if you need any more encouragement, because God says it's important to love our neighbor, to love even the foreigner as ourself. This Lent, as I ponder the welcome that God has extended to me and the challenge God places before me to live fully into the calling that God has for us, this text reminds us that we are called to extend God's welcome far and wide, to make a loving space for all that we encounter. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God's countenance be lifted up over you and grant you peace this Lenten season and beyond. Amen.